Hello, today I'm going to be breaking down 267 pages and debunking everything in a few minutes. In fact, this is very entertaining because while I was reading it, I kept on laughing because he perfectly described most of my characters, and it's so evident that when you read it, you see yourself displaying those things. So I think it translates to how it is we really react to situations, how we communicate with people, and basically how we interact with people. And then looking around and making sure that you're not the idiot out there, right? So I think that's the whole purpose of the book by Thomas Erikson. It says a lot about human beings. It's not a fiction, it's a non-fiction. So I'm just going to be giving my review. We have the red, we have the yellow, we have the green, and we have the blue colors. This all describe, I think everybody on earth has one or two or three of each of these colors. So predominantly you might have one more than another, or you could have two equally. Along the line, you just get to discover the kind of person you are. So stay with me. Red reacts quickly to a lot of things. They emphasize a lot of control. They always want to control. They have minimal interest or caution in relationships. They always take direct action, and they tend to avoid involvement. They don't like getting involved. They are very dominant. Whatever space it is they are in, they always want to dominate. Now for the yellows are very inspiring. They're joyful. They're always happy. They're friendly. They have rapid reactions, everything. So they're always ecstatic. Also, they like to get involved with things, and they have minimal interest in routines. They are very, very spontaneous. They have impulsive actions. A typical yellow will buy a book today and not read it. Get a new water bottle when they have 5. They're going to get new clothes every day, but still have nothing to wear. They're available to attend 5 different parties at the same time. And they tend to reject isolation. You don't find yellows alone. They are free-spirited people. They like being around people. For the blues are very analytic. They're very critical. So blues are critical, and they have slow reaction. So they like to take their time. They have a maximum effort to organize. So while reading, I understood that blues will take their time to assess all the facts, all the figures, and make sure that every information you're giving them is correct. They have minimal interest in relationships. They have a historical time frame, so they like to go date back to time to really know if that's how it used to be. They take very cautious actions. Also, they tend to avoid involvement, just like the red. And for the greens are just stable. They have calm reactions. They have minimal interest in change. They use the current time frame. What's happening now? If it's not now, I don't know. But just don't stress them. They are too stable. They have supportive action, and they tend to reject conflict. Reds are usually aggressive, ambitious, strong-willed, goal-oriented, convincing, controlling, innovative, decisive, problem solvers, initiators, timekeepers, intense, opinionated, straightforward, independent. They seem too bossy, but personally, I don't think they are. Now for the yellows are talkatives. They're enthusiastic, they are persuasive, they're social, they're optimistic, they're creative, they are spontaneous, they are expressive, they are charming, they're full of vitality, sensitive, they are self-centered, they are open, they are flexible, they are imaginative, encouraging, they are adaptive, they communicate. I fall between those two categories personally. Now for the greens are usually stable. They're patient, they're relaxed, they're self-controlled, they're reliable, they're prudent, they're reluctant, they're thoughtful, they conceal feelings, they're kind, they're considerate, they're good listeners, they're helpful, they're supportive, and they're the kind of person the world would usually see and think you can step on. For the blues can be distant. They are very systematic. They are perfectionists. They are analytic. They always need time. They are logical. They are questioning. They are meticulous, reflective. They are reserved. They are very, very structural, and they follow objectives. There are people Thomas Erikson cited For reds, the sky is not the limit. There is more after the sky. Reds can be very blunt and they don't go with the flow. Like Steve Jobs, Venus Williams, Mother Teresa, Barack Obama, and Margaret Thatcher. For yellows are always fun. Everything sounds fun to them, so they want to do it. They like to explore everything. So that's the character of the yellow. And they believe more the merrier, so they are the friends people. Yellows always know a lot of people. Let's say you need a plumber, and you don't know one. But there's that one person that you feel like, if I ask this person, he might know a plumber, she might know a plumber, because they almost know everybody. In fact, they know everybody. Typical stars that exhibit the yellow behavior are Oprah Winfrey, Robin Williams, Ellen DeGeneres. For the greens, you need to be calm. Calm down. They are good listeners. I think if there's anybody you want to really listen to, you just go to greens. Sometimes you don't want them to say anything, right? You just want somebody to listen to you. Go to greens. They are perfect for that. They are naturally friendly, not as friendly as the yellow, and the greens are quite frank. When they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it, but it might take a while, but they're going to do it after all. They always like to be hidden. They don't want to be known by everybody. They just want to be that guy in the corner that knows everything but doesn't get involved. Typical examples could be Gandhi, Jim Carter, Michelle Obama, and Jesus. So you see, Jesus doesn't judge you, he just listens to you and helps you. So Jesus was a great character, basically. He loved to help people. And for the blue, these ones are in pursuit of perfection. They always ask about the science behind everything. Oh, what's the science behind it? Where are your facts? Where are your figures? Why are you making this claim? What do you have to back it up? That's the blue. Excuse me, you're not doing this quite accurately. You're not doing this correctly. The blues. Where did you read that? And what edition was it? Is there more material? The blue. Blues love details. You need to give them the whole details. We all said no one is completely perfect, so every color has their strengths and weaknesses, and we can't exist in a world without each color. So each color complements themselves. Not a place where the rare things, being aggressive and controlling, can get you what you want. Yellows think being friendly and cheerful can get you what you want. Greens think being easygoing and stable can get you what you want. And the blues think facts and figures get you what you want. So greens are easy to hang out with. They genuinely care for others. Emphasis on genuinely. And the weakness is that they can be very indecisive. And that sort of kills the energy of the people they are around, because they can't stand it when they can't just decide. The weakness of the reds is that they can be quite hopeless to deal with. People tend to want to stay away from them because everything seems fast-paced for them, so people tend to stay away from them. And then for the yellows, they don't really allow people into conversation. They are too self-absorbed that when they tell their stories, there's less reality to what they say. The blues are level-headed. However, because they are very critical and they like to question everything around them, so to people around them it could be overbearing. So that's their weakness, that they don't know when to stop asking questions. Now we're going to talk about gestures, body languages, expressions. The body language says a lot about you, and your countenance, the way you introduce yourself, your hands, your feet, your gaze, your posture, everything comes together and defines our characters, our behaviors. That person who grabs your hand with so much strength, that's the red. And they lean forward aggressively, and they use direct eye contact, and they use controlling gestures. Yeah, their voices are firm, not shaky. They have speed in speech. And then for the yellow, they have friendly eye contact, and they use very expressive gestures like, oh my god, and they often come close like, oh my god, you're on my channel, you're watching me, please subscribe, thank you. So that's for the yellow. Their voices always denote strong commitment from the start. You can hear how enthusiastic they sound and joyful, and they have very good energy. They are people you just want to be around. They can be fast paced too. So yellows might stumble on their words because they want to get everything out. I'm sorry, I'm guilty of that. For the green, they keep it simple. They can be relaxed, they tend to lean backward, and they use very friendly eye contact. They act methodically, and they prefer small scale gestures. They're not always sluggish, but you can perceive some sluggishness in them. They have a relaxed body language that exudes confidence and calm. Their voice is never strong. It's always subtle, and they just want to get their message across, but not in the most loudest of tones. They have a very slower pace when it comes to speech. Blues prefer to keep others at a distance. Sometimes I feel like exhibit some of these characters of a blue. Keep your distance, bro. Don't come close. Stay there. Stay. And then they speak without gestures. Their face and body don't really give much about them, so you can't really predict. They would normally look you straight to the eye too, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Blues have the slowest pace when it comes to the other colors, so someone that takes their time really to talk, that's the blue. Greens are most concerned with how people feel. Blues are more concerned with details. The yellows are more concerned with fun. And the reds are more concerned with time. Reds will always ask what. The yellows wonder who. The blue will ask why. And then the green wants to know how. You guys, we're on chapter 12 already, and I'm gonna tell you, this might just be my favorite part of the book. Adaptation, how to handle everyone who isn't like you. So, which is the whole point of this video. And I'm very disappointed if you tried to change someone, because you can't change anyone at all. And my favorite line, good communication is often a matter of adapting to others. When you're around these four characters, how do you adapt to them? Listen to this line. Some people I meet don't like the idea of deliberately adapting to others. They consider it dishonest and manipulative. But again, you can always abstain. So to me, we all have scripts, and it depends on how you play yours. I don't think it's you being manipulative. It's just understanding how this person operates and working with them despite being odd, right? Just so things can work out fine. And the yellows love to look good. The most important thing to them is to look good at all times. The yellow might literally see you moving your lips, but they're not hearing anything you're saying. They could zone out quite easily. Adapting to them means understanding that you can't keep them entertained. They are going to zone out. For the greens, they expect everything to feel good all the time. So when you're dealing with a green, know that they can be very empathetic. They mostly lean on their emotions, so they don't like chaos. That's why they like everything to be stable and calm. Reds are less patient. They don't have patience because they have a lot of things they want to do. Reds believe that there's no time. Life is short, so start doing things already. Because they are very competitive. Adapting to the blue behavior, it means you must put your daydream and wishful thinking aside. But for the blues, there's no substitute for quality. Quality is what really matters to them. Reds and yellows are usually initiators, so they create initiatives, while the blues and greens are the ones that try to keep up with it. Is there anyone who can receive clear feedback without getting cranky? Feedback alone is a gigantic topic. What colors work best together and why they work best together. The extroverts are usually the red and the yellow, and the introverts are the blue and the greens. So dating back to history, Hippocrates described four temperaments. We have the choleric, melancholy, the phlegmatic, and the sanguine. So, okay, and then the Aztecs described these four colors with fire, water, earth, and air. So fire being red, earth being green, water being blue, and air being yellow. Stress factors and energy tips. Pressure, demands, and expectations create stress and can make you self-critical and powerless. Now, let's see how different people react to stress. What a surprise. Now, for the red, when you take every form of authority away from them, achieve no results whatsoever, eliminate any kind of challenge, waste time and resources, and work as inefficiently as possible. Make sure that everything becomes a routine. Make a bunch of stupid mistakes. Give him no control over others. Tell him regularly to cool his voice down. All these things stresses out the red. And how to really help the red? Just send them in for a competitive game or anything that just involves competition. It makes them feel better. For the yellows, what stresses out the yellows? Structure work as much as possible. Isolate him from the rest of the group. Making it clear that it is inappropriate to joke at work. And when you pretend it's invisible, when you push a yellow to think carefully, it stresses them out. How do you help them manage their stress? Organize a party for them. Throw them a party. Make sure it's fun. For the greens, what stresses out the green? Take every form of security away from them. Hang around him constantly. Make unexpected changes and direction. And then push him into the spotlight. Stresses them out. Now, how do you manage stress for a green? Just allow them to do nothing. Allow them to do nothing. They're good. Now, stress factors for blue. What stresses out the blue character? Have a team make a spontaneous decision. It stresses them out. Tell him something can be risky and then still go ahead with taking that risk. Surprise him unannounced. Surround him with overly emotional people. The blues can't even stand it. Now, that's it. How do we manage stress for the blue? Give them some privacy and space to think. That's all they need and they're good. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me on Viewing Surrounded by Idiots. I love the name Fascinating News. It's a very good choice. After reading, I think the best thing I'm going to do now is share my thoughts with you too. You don't have to stress to read it anymore. I have given you everything you need to know in this book. But then you can dig deep and find more information. Obviously, there's more. There's a whole lot more. In case you don't have the time, I got you. Let me do the reading for you and then tell you about it while you listen. So see you on the next book review. I really hope you enjoy this.